next speaker is me. I will tell you a little bit about what we have here. So I'm an ICT manager in the Economic Development Agency of Supoja region. But before that, I used to work for 5 years in the FTTH company, actually building and operating the network. I was the sales manager, so I know how challenging it is to sell fiber connections. It's not easy, but it was very interesting. When I started the work, I knew nothing about fiber, so I learned everything thanks to my wonderful colleagues there. Okay, a few words about what do we have here in Western Finland. There is a map of Western Finland. What I did is I put a pin to Kauhajoki downtown and I drew a circle to about 100 kilometers. And that's what we have. There are different colors, as you can see. The colors are different regional fiber optic networks that we have here. They are either municipality owned or they are cooperatives. So what is common to all of them is that they are open. They build fiber all the way. They don't build fiber to the street cabinets or base stations. Some do that as well, but they all build fiber to the home. Because we know that that is the ultimate solution. So there are different sizes. For example, the smallest ones, they are in purple. They are cooperatives that actually operate in the region of area of 2 or 3 villages. The smallest one, I think, has under 200 fiber to the home connections. And then there are bigger ones. For example, the gray one is Supoja network, which nowadays has fiber connections, I think, in the area of about 10 municipalities. And then the green one is cooperative Uuskaista, which is about the same size as we are in terms of connections. Then there are a couple of new ones, actually. The yellow one and then the orange one. They have been founded a year or two ago, but they are now starting to build the network. And we do a lot of cooperation among the networks. We are actually physically connected. So, for example, the black line between Uuskaista and Supoja is the fiber cable that goes through the regional capital of Seinäjoki. But it only goes through it. So Seinäjoki is actually, I hope there are not many people from Seinäjoki here, but it's how to say it? It's kind of like we have this digital gap that is the other way around. So in the regional capital, we don't have open access fiber, but in the very rural villages with barn houses and pig houses, they have fiber. So it's kind of controversial. But yeah, we are physically, for example, linked. So the signal from Uuskaista flows through Supoja network all the way to Kristinestad's network, which is the blue one. So we carry our signals there and here for free. And we like to do a lot of cooperation because we are all small players and we know that we need to do things together. But that's pretty much what we have. All the areas without color, they are the areas of commercial telco. The commercial telcos are building fiber as well, but it's not open access, and many times it only goes to the street cabinets and not all the way to the homes. So, but the coloring is growing every year. I think this is like a spider web that is actually growing and spreading, because there are a lot of municipalities around Finland that we do consulting to them, and they are following our example. So I guess we are doing something right, what we have been doing for the past 9 years, because other regions like to do the same. But since we are in Kauhajoki, I want to say a few words about our network. All the engaged members probably are already sick of Supoja network, because in every single partnership meeting I like to talk about this. But I guess you're not that sick of it because there are many of you who wanted to come to see us, and which is really good. These staff exchanges that we have had, and actually we will have next week again, we will have Portuguese and Slovenians here with us, continuing their trip. It's a really good way of telling face to face, how do we do it, how do we manage it, how do we finance it, how do we sell the connections and so on. But back to Suupohja. Suupohja network was founded in 2005, and there were two primary reasons for that. First of all, the 5 original municipalities, they made calculations of how much money they are using every single year for connecting every daycare center, every school, and so on, and the amount of money was huge. So they decided, it wasn't an easy decision, as for example, Merja remembers that it was challenging to get the decision through because the incumbent didn't like the idea. But municipalities, instead of giving all that money away to the commercial telcos, they decided to keep it and have their own infra. And I will show you some figures later on that have proved that it was a really good decision. The length of the network right now is about 1,500 kilometers, and we use 100% own fiber, which means that we don't rent cables from the other operators in Suupohja region. We build ourselves. And we operate both in public and private sector, which means that for the public sector, for municipalities, we offer services such as intranet, internet, firewall, etc. And then for the private people, we offer fiber to the home connections. All the public places are connected nowadays, and they all form one secure intranet. And there are a lot of things that have actually been done because of the network. There are common servers that municipalities are using, common software, etc. A lot of things. But also, all the villages in the area are now connected. And when I say connected, I mean that not all the houses are connected yet. That is the vision, that someday every single house will be connected, but we still have some work to do to get that. But we do have connection point in every single village. There are some bottlenecks, like the downtown of Kauhajoki, unfortunately, that we have our core network, but we don't have the access network yet. But like I said, there are some things that we are trying to do in order to cover the downtown area as well. This picture is actually, this was taken a couple of weeks ago from the premises of a customer. And when we have a new customer, we connect that customer to internet with 1,000 megabits per second. And then we shrink it down to whatever the customer is paying for. So for example, in this picture, you can see the black cable coming through the wall, and then there is the white metal box where it's welded, and then there's a white active device where the computer is connected. And unfortunately, this particular computer wasn't really good because it's only like 400 and something megs download, and the upload is 250 megabits. So unfortunately, the hardware is still setting the limits, the computer. We have customers that they ordered 150 symmetrical connection, and they were complaining when they got only 100 symmetrical, and when our technician went there, it was because the computer wasn't able to handle more than 100 megs. The operational model is different from commercial telcos. So we have separated the service level and the infra level totally, and this is very important to us. So the infra level is where Suupohjan seutuverkko, that is the nice name of the company, it should be translated directly. Suupohjan seutuverkko builds, maintains, operates, owns the active devices, owns the passive infrastructure, rents black fiber capacity and so on. So they do everything concerning the infra. And then all the service providers can use our network for free. They don't have to pay a single cent or single dime for us for using it. So all they have to do is they have to bring their signal to some corner of our network or some other regional network, and that's it. Of course, there are a little bit more to it, but I won't get into that. But basically, that's pretty much it. And then the customer has a total freedom of choice. So, for example, myself, I have internet connection from one service provider, and I have IPTV connection from another service provider using the same single fiber. And I pay 22 euros for internet, symmetrical 100 meg. I pay 5 euros for the IPTV for the service providers. And then I pay every month maintenance fee, which is 20 euros plus value-added tax for the network. So that's how the network gets the money. And it's very good because now I know what I'm paying, for what I'm paying, for who. If someone raises prices, I know whose fault it is, who to call to. And it's very transparent way. And actually, this is very good because every single time we have a new service provider, the old service providers have to check their price levels, and usually it goes this way. So it's actually I would say, pretty perfect model where there is a free competition. I want to show you one case study from a municipality called Teuva. Teuva is a neighboring municipality from Kauhajoki. There are a little less than 6,000 inhabitants, about 550 square kilometers. And actually that picture is from downtown. You have to be really careful in case that you are able to see the main street. It is there, the main street. So that is Teuva, very rural. Teuva municipality has 40 public places, including swimming hall and all the village schools and daycare centers, doctors, etc. And right now, 38 of them are fiber to the home, and 2 of them are fiber to the building. So all of them are now using 1,000 megabits connection. What we did was that we made a calculation. We took a price list from one commercial telco, and we looked what kind of prices they are charging for these kind of connections. And the direct saving within 15 years was 2.5 million euros. That is a lot of money for a municipality the size of Teuva. And it's only direct savings coming from how much cheaper now is the intranet, internet, and firewall and maintenance. 2.5 million. And the share of Teuva is about 20% compared to the whole Supohja county. So if you just multiply this with 5, it's 12.5 million euros at least. And the prices that we used to make this calculation, we deliberately used the cheapest ones we found, which are actually cheaper than the operator that actually works here. So in reality, the direct savings are probably a lot more. Plus, all the things we have been able to do with it. The connections in the school, all the stuff we use here, new companies that have come here because of the network, etc. This is only direct savings. So, yes, it is a good investment. I talked about this yesterday in Helsinki, and there were a lot of people coming to me afterwards saying that, wow, it's really awesome to see real numbers. But sit back, relax, enjoy the day. Clive, you will probably be mad for showing this picture. This was taken in Evora when we found the Finnish chairs there. Thank you.